I can't wait to talk about this one. There are so many Hooplas from last March. These Hooplas are picked from not just the ones I covered on videos, but also the ones I covered on my live streams at the APB show channel, link down below, go subscribe. March is quite special because there are 5 APB shows that aired on March, which means a lot more Hooplas to pick. Before we get to the list proper, as always, huge thanks to all these wonderful people. You guys are fantastic. If you want to see your names among these legends, then check out the links down below, just $1, and you have supported this channel immensely. Seriously, thank you so much. And without further ado, let's get into my top 15 best Hooplas of March 2024. Number 15. Man, we're starting off with a frustrating one, are we? It's tabletop role players deciding to have their original characters in wheelchairs while exploring the dungeon. Why? Because disability representation matters. It doesn't matter if this representation makes disabled people look entitled and stupid. If your reaction is anything but "that's neat" or "representation matters," kindly shut the hell up. No, I'm not just gonna sit back and let you people make something this idiotic and nonsensical. People in wheelchairs should not go out and fight in dungeons. Dungeons are not wheelchair accessible. Why can't you just use magic to fly? Or, better yet, use the magic to heal your legs. Wheelchairs in the dungeon are dumb. They look dumb, they sound dumb, and they will get anyone who rides them killed instantly. There are better ways to represent disabled people than this. If this is your suggestion, you have zero creativity and should not work professionally in any creative industry. Number 14. Okay, something lighthearted. Community Notes Chan is going on a rampage towards this person who kept on being called Turbo Nonce. Every single opportunity, the person kept on denying the Turbo Nonce claim, but Community Notes just kept coming back and even citing completely nonsensical but admittedly very humorous citations. It's an abuse of the Community Notes, but it is a funny way of using them. And yes, there are a couple of great Community Notes contributions this month, but by far, my personal favorite Community Notes contribution is this article right here that talks about Sydney Sweeney's boobs being small. Community Notes hopped into the conversation, shoved some melons, and proved those jealous journalists that her boobs are indeed pretty big. Kami-chan, you are a naughty, naughty little girl. Number 13. Well, back to serious stuff. The Smash community is notorious for its predatory tendencies towards real-life children. This one is an exception, but it's still not helping. This person called Xenoblade Chronicles 2 18 plus addict bait because the characters are designed with revealing clothing. He is a Smash player. Another person said that in about 2 to 3 years, someone will come forward with allegations. That was in November 2022. Fast forward to recently, and there are allegations being made against that same Smash player. Apparently, this Smash player has a picture of a little girl in a Halloween costume. But while that picture is completely safe for work, he did admit to being an 18 plus addict. Ah yes, who better to accuse other 18 plus addict than a former 18 plus addict? Seriously, this is just embarrassing. Number 12. This one just makes me lose faith in humanity. It's the discourse involving DoorDash and how people are justifying wasting a lot of money on ordering foods online and not, cooking your own food. It all started when some people were baffled that food is not a human right. No, food is not a human right. It is a luxury because making edible food is not exactly an easy thing to do. One of the wildest excuses for DoorDashing food is apparently not being able to microwave your own food. How? It only takes a couple of steps and microwaves are super affordable. But it's not just microwaving the food. It's also taking the food out of the box, putting it in the microwave, and walking back and forth between the two. That is way too exhausting. Now, some people are gonna make this about disabled people, but I don't believe that. I believe this is just a bunch of able-bodied people using disabled people as an excuse to be jerks online. Number 11. This one is for all the not safe for work content creators out there, making all sorts of 18 plus content. You guys are awesome, and you guys deserve to get paid. But Patreon and Gumroad seems to disagree. They basically axed off a lot of not safe for work artwork. One category that seems to get a lot of contention is consensual non-consent artwork. These people act as if they are helpless in that situation, which is their primary appeal. It's role-playing, it's acting, it's fun, not to mention kinky. Patreon doesn't seem to get the message and thinks that if you make this type of content, you are a horrible human being and you don't deserve to get paid. Thankfully, there are alternative payment methods to get around this issue. Independent artists should be rewarded a lot more for their hard work, and unfortunately, the world makes it much harder for them. Number 10. This is just horrible and scummy, and the person who did this has no embarrassment, which makes it worse. This scumbag art thief reposted a beautiful artwork done by this artist over here. Not only did this scumbag repost the artwork, but he also claimed that the original artist was his girlfriend. What an absolute scumbag. I do not understand how an art thief like this could have the audacity to make such a ridiculous claim when it's so easily disproven. I guess when you're hungry for clout, you're gonna make up all sorts of lies. Number 9. Oh boy, artists are not having a good time, are they? Imagine being an artist, making artwork, and then a bunch of people gather up on Discord and decide that you should be cancelled because you draw something problematic, even if that problematic thing is totally fictional and no actual children are harmed in the process. This absolutely ridiculous cancel channel has caused quite a lot of distress to plenty of artists online, especially the ones that draw gay artworks because that's their primary target. I don't see why you people can just scroll down and not let this affect you in any way. But what can you do? Number 8. Oh man, IGN just can't stop taking L's after L's. The first L they took was when they made that stupid article about how Resident Evil 5 is not gonna age well because Chris is shooting at those evil African people trying to take over the world. Then IGN took another L when they tried to explain what isekai is. While they are technically correct on the Japanese side, it's the English context that's important. And I ain't calling Free Ren isekai the same way I don't call Lord of the Rings isekai. And finally, the IGN L that they're actually trying to sweep under the rug was when the French IGN branch called the people that made Stellar Blade to have never seen a woman, even though the model for Stellar Blade is a woman whose body type is not that hard to find. It's not the average woman's body, but why would you strive for the average when you can go for the ideal in fiction? Oh yes, representation, also known as please notice me, also known as narcissism. Number 7. I don't know why people are so up in arms with this southern tomboy girl. Seriously, I have no idea why. She's just minding her own business, building houses and stuff. And yet, there are lots of people saying, hey, if you like this type of person, you are gay. If you like this chick, you are gay. This chick should have transitioned into a guy. Okay, but you do realize that she's still a woman, right? Calling us gay won't stop people from being attracted to her or people like her. This hoopla is so crazy that the crazy man himself, Alex Jones, had to be the reasonable person in the room. That's right, Alex freaking Jones had to chime into the conversation and give in his take. And his take is actually reasonable. If Alex Jones had to be the voice of reason, we are living in the end times. We do have to earn our way to the next level. We have to liberate America from the tomboy oppression. Number 6. This one is just funny. Kotaku's editor-in-chief just resigned after the team was told to make 50 game guides per week rather than the typical opinionated news and articles. Kotaku journals just lost their minds and are seething and coping after this insane revelation. Some even blame capitalism for this ordeal and tell people, hey, why don't you care about other stuff that is more important? To be fair, 50 game guides per week doesn't sound that hard when you realize that you can make partial game guides, not complete game guides. When you have 10 writers working together, you only need to write 5 guides a week. Compared to my YouTube workload, it's slightly easier, but I'm not a journalist, so I don't know. Either way, good luck, Kotaku journos. Number 5. I was initially on board with this, but only ironically. GDC developers just screamed their lungs out and aired their frustration. I too would scream when I realized the state of the gaming industry right now. Why are you giving us garbage after garbage? Why do you care so much about diversity? But then I found out the one recurring thing that happens on GDC, and that is people being roofied. No, really, people are being roofied on GDC, and apparently it's been a thing for years. To all the piece of fecal waste who poison people for your own sick and demented pleasure, kindly suffer the fiery inferno of the 7th circle of hell. For the rest of the developers who are actually passionate about this hobby but got screwed by the industry, I hope you all can survive this monstrosity. Number 4. It's fresh in our memory, but it's not the only failure that happens. Elon Musk fails at 2 things that I find hilarious considering the kind of person he is. First off, he made this awful roll safe meme without any fundamental understanding of what the meme is about or how it's supposed to be used. It's embarrassing when your meme lord doesn't know how to meme. However, the funniest Elon Musk L that I covered was when he couldn't bypass the Windows 11 installation. I agree, Elon. Windows is absolute garbage, and Microsoft is garbage as well. But thankfully, they still have enough customization to let advanced users bypass their dumb installation. Their steps are so ridiculously simple that even a baby can do them. And yet here he is getting outsmarted by a Windows 11 installation, which I find very funny for a tech mogul like him to fail like this. And that's why it's pretty high here. Number 3. Hassan Piker. I love clowning on this dude because he's always here for really dumb reasons. He got into the mud by making a statement about how hard it is for streamers and how streaming is sucking the soul out of you in a different way compared to a normal 9-to-5 job. And honestly, I believe him. I don't want to stream 9 hours every day either. I find that creatively bankrupt. So it's not really that surprising when he totally lost it on his Discord and he's crying that there are 13,000 people watching him instead of, I don't know, 100,000 people. I am truly astounded by the lack of recognition for the amount of privilege that he has, which is why I am going to continue reminding Hassan to check his freaking privilege. Number 2. Well, we got one AI hoopla making it to the top 3, but unlike the last 2 months, this is the only AI-related hoopla that made it to the top 3. It's the Willy Wonka experience disaster. I mean, my god, where do I even begin? The person responsible for this event, who has been dubbed Willy Wanker, because he is, promoted this event with some of the most hideous AI-generated garbage art in existence. The actual event is a huge disaster. It's definitely not as advertised, and people are not happy attending this event at all. Willy Wanker then had to speak up and say that his life is ruined and his love life is ruined. This guy made books that are AI generated, and he stole people's toys for Christmas. Like, seriously, who does that? Who does that? Now, before we get to number 1, some honorable mentions. Anita Sarkeesian got married. Oh wait, no, she didn't. She had a wedding-themed birthday, and she also gained a couple of pounds. I find that funny. Dragon's Dogma 2 launched with poor performance and optimization. From what I've heard in reviews, the game is also not as great as the first one. It needs a lot of tweaks, so stick to the first one. Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 Classic Collection was released in a state where the game is somehow much bigger than the two combined, while also being severely less optimized. Last month, a Swiftie made it to the best Hooplas list, but this one only made it to the honorable mentions because they're pulling the same trick and it's less shocking than the last time. A mysterious Saber GIF still has no lead on where the original clip was. Seriously, if anyone finds the original clip of this, you will make history. Call in the Javengers, please. McDonald's anime ad is region locked, which is why I go to Japan to download the clip and find out what it's all about. Not really, I didn't go to Japan. Well, I did, but it was 5 years ago, and I just used a VPN to download it. Shout out to Movad. Andrew Tate has bizarre standards for his girls. Either you girls get your manicure, or you won't be with him. That is surprisingly gay of you, Andrew. An Indonesian teacher is awarded for being a weeb. And finally, the Kagura Bachi fandom celebrates being included in Jump Festa, even if the inclusion is really small. Seriously, why is the fandom so wholesome? Can we not make it popular with an anime adaptation? I don't want it to get toxic. Number 1, it's Sweet Baby. Of course it is Sweet Baby. The hoopla is still going even to this day. It all started with a Steam curator page documenting all the games worked on by Sweet Baby. This leads into what's deemed to be Gamergate 2.0, and there are lots and lots of hooplas to discuss about this matter that have 3 videos talking about them already. My favorite take from this whole discourse is when one journalist said that they're gonna commit a final purge for gamers. Oh sorry, I meant a final purge for gamers who are like V's. Gamers that send hate and vitriol to other game developers. Can we not make statements that are painfully obvious to save your skin and actually address the criticisms? The games touched by Sweet Baby are mostly crap. We don't want crap. That's all there is to it. Unfortunately, addressing criticisms means taking accountability, and that's what you people don't want to do. And no, we are still not buying your games. And that's all for the video today. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more. Don't forget to check out my APB Show stream channel, link down below. Go subscribe. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.